interview with a close friend of mine, this great individual that so many of you all know, and I have the pleasure of having with me. He's always on me when I say Dr. Bertley, right? So I'll call him Frederic. But today we have a whole new name that I'm gonna get an opportunity to shout out in a minute. So real quick, before we get started, I want to introduce myself. I'm Kevin Lloyd. I'm the founder and CEO of ColumbusBlack.com. We've been around for 15 years now here in the capital city. And we are the online platform to connect our community to commerce and to culture. To commerce is things that are business oriented, like we do a Support Black Business series. And then we talk about great organizations like COSI and other places that you can go and you can support from a business standpoint. And then we talk about culture. And the culture side is entertainment activities. Once again, things like COSI where you can go. But all of the things that make you say, you know what, Columbus really is more of a happening city than people think. There's so much that is normally going on here, especially pre-COVID and especially post-COVID. So I want to make sure that you all know this is what we do. We service you through our omni-channel platform, which is through our websites, our text blasts, email blasts, and social media, as well as virtual events. And post-COVID, we will do live events again. But with that being said, that's not the reason why y'all are here. It's not the reason why I'm here. Today, we have the pleasure of having Dr. Frederic Bertley with us, and we're going to share some really, really cool and exciting news about something that he has going on. So with that being said, Frederic, I want you to take an opportunity to introduce yourself, tell people a little bit about you, and then we want to share some really exciting news about what you actually have coming up tomorrow.
You got it. So Kevin Lloyd, Columbus Black. Before I talk about who I am, I just want to give a shout out to all of your listenership, all of your viewership. What you do specifically and your team does, Columbus Black, it's phenomenal. You provide incredible programming for the entire Black community. But what's more important, not only do you give great conversations and provide great data and information for our community, you also provide it for a wider community. And that's what I love, because we are Black people. We're proud and we do a lot of things, but we do a lot of things for everybody. So big shout out to Columbus Black. Thanks for having me on. I'm Frederic Bertley, President and CEO of COSI, your #1 science museum in the nation, according to 2 ratings, Columbus Black and USA Today. So we love that. We are your #1 science center. We are a science center for everyone. So if you're listening to Kevin Lloyd and this great program, make sure you come check out COSI when you're ready.
That's right. That's right. And let me tell you, some of the most amazing exhibits that you could ever imagine are right here in our city of Columbus, thanks to, obviously, Dr. Bertley and his amazing staff in doing all the creative, unique things you do to bring in very interesting exhibits from all over the world, which is exciting. So, so much knowledge that's shared. And with that being said, all of that knowledge, right? And you think about what we've been through since the beginning with COVID-19 and how much people have had to transform and change and adjust. And now you're about to make an adjustment as well, right? So normally we get a chance to see you at COSI, but there's something new that's going to happen. So tomorrow, what in the world do you have going on?
And before I answer that, for the record, this is my first live interview, television, video, Facebook Live, Zoom, or otherwise. This is my first live interview to bring to you, Kevin, to bring to Columbus Black, and to bring to the world the newest endeavor COSI is doing. It's a television series on Primetime TV, PBS affiliate WOSU, and it's called QED with Dr. B.
Woo! Hold on. QED with Dr. B.
Absolutely. Now, QED is, so back in the 13th, 14th, 17th, 19th century, when mathematicians or scientists used to write a proof, or philosophers, when they write this whole proof, at the end of it, they would write QED. And that stands for, in Latin, Quod Erat Demonstrandum, which really translates into quite easily demonstrated. So when we prove something to you, when we break it down like Denzel Washington says in Pelican's Brief, break it down to be like a 4-year-old. When we break it down, we write at the end QED, meaning quite easily demonstrated. And my name is Dr. Bertley, so it's QED with Dr. B. And that was PBS WSU's. They wanted to put my name on it. I just wanted QED. They said we got to add the Dr. B.
Wow, nice. And I agree with them, by the way, all right? So that's bringing that flavor to it. And yes, this is an exclusive interview with Dr. B, right? So
on Columbus Black.
Right here. So with that being said, talk to me, because, you know, this is the thing. We do all these interviews and we talk to people and, you know, we always have amazing people on the show. how in the world did we get here though, right? Like, so for those that don't know who you are, right? Like, yep, they heard the title. Tell them a little bit of background, right? And then some of your interests and your passions and the things you've done, right? But then how that also led to this opportunity in all the knowledge that you're about to bring to them.
Sure, you got it. So I'm blessed by having amazing parents, and they made me and my siblings a well-rounded individual. So I love sports. I thought I was going to play basketball for D1 college. I'm raised in Canada. I have a killer crossover, but I also played hockey, and I thought I was going to play not for the Blue Jackets, but for the Montreal Canadiens.
Wow.
Like, I had all kinds of sports aspirations. I got crazy flow. I like to freestyle. I'm not ill like Jay-Z or Lil Wayne, but I got a little swag, right? You know, but I'm allowed to do it in my closed quarters of my home. But all jokes aside, the other thing I love is science. And Kevin and Columbus Black and the whole audience, the reason why I love science is, think about this. You cannot wake up tomorrow morning and get throughout the entire day without specifically being impacted by science and technology. As soon as you wake up and look who tweeted what or who texted what, it's technology that made that happen. Then you go, you pour out your Fruit Loops or your cornflakes or whatever you're eating, that's genetically modified, whether you like it or not. And I'm not judging it, it is genetically modified, right? Then you go driving somewhere, you put in GPS. You don't use a paper map. That's science and technology. The medicines that heal us during coronavirus, and of course, the vaccines that are gonna help get us out of there, it's science that makes that happen. So it's all around us. And so fast forward, I became a scientist. I had the privilege of being a scientist at Harvard Medical School, doing vaccines for HIV and all that cool stuff. Then I traveled to Haiti, lived in Sudan, did all kinds of cool stuff, but ultimately it landed me at COSI. Why? Because I love that connection between science and making sure the public understands it and can appreciate it. And so that's what got us fast forward to here with this program called QED with Dr. B, because it's all about making sure everybody, regardless of race, regardless of religion, that you actually think science is interesting and you can access it. So on this show, Kevin, we break down all kinds of killer stuff, cutting edge sciences, cutting edge science stuff for everyone.
Wow, 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 wow. And he just summed it up that quick, right? And that was a lot of stuff, but you just broke it down. Like, everything we deal with is tied to science and technology, right? Everything, all day long, all night long. The Zoom that we're on right now, Facebook that we're live on right now, right? So all technology driven. So so walk us through this a little bit, right? So we get all of that, right? And your parents did a great job, and you got the mad crossover, and if you would have played for Canada, like, that's a big deal, right? So with that being said, you end up here, President and CEO, COSI, done some amazing things, and now QED with Dr. B, right? So give us an idea, what can we expect to see and learn through this particular experience and platform that you're about to start?
You know, that's a great question. So if all of us, those of us who aren't scientists, if you go back to your middle school or high school and you think about that science class you had, you know, a lot of times you're in this old lab, you know, this wooden table with a black countertop, and you had a Bunsen burner. I mean, like, you know, these are like an antiquated, really old school, no pun intended, version of what science is. Yet the real science, what you talked about, the fact that we're on Zoom, our cell phones, you know, foods, this is cutting edge technology. And so a lot of us are left back because we don't see that. So the purpose of this show is to not dance around what science is, but to talk about cutting edge science things that, Kevin, are impacting you, are impacting Columbus Black, are impacting Ohio, and impacting all of us. And so the purpose of the show is to deal with cutting edge stuff. So we deal with mycobacterial resistance.
Okay.
And you're all hearing about antibodies in the coronavirus pandemic and vaccines. We talk about antibodies. We talk about climate change. We talk about nanotechnology. We talk about artificial intelligence that dominate AI. And I don't mean Allen Iverson.
Right.
Don't got a sick crossover too. I'm talking about artificial intelligence. That's around us all the time. And we as regular consumers, one, we don't know about it. And two, because it belongs in that science and technology space, we're like, I'm not a nerd or a geek. I don't need to know about it. No, you do need to know about it. And more importantly, you don't need to be scared by it. Just learn a little something, get excited by it, and that's what the program does. It tries to get you to think about stuff, feel cool and comfortable with it, and then you might go on Google and research some more, or go to our website and find some more stuff. But it's about getting you excited about the relevant science of today, not stuff from way back in the day.
That is so awesome and so cool. You know, you mentioned it. I was going to say, like, what about the people like, I don't like science that much, right? But they're dealing with it every day.
Listen, whoever claims they don't like science, take your cell phone, throw it out the window.
Because it's over.
Okay? Whoever claims they don't like science, don't ever use GPS ever again. Whoever claims they don't like science, you see my flossy blazer? Yeah, material scientists and engineers have made this stain resistant. You don't like science, don't like your fly clothes you're wearing. And if you don't like science, don't like those delicious cocktails you make after 6 p.m. because it's chemistry that makes that come alive. So all jokes aside, science, as you said and I said, science really is everywhere. And so we just want to make sure people feel comfortable, develop a vocabulary, can feel like they can talk about it and know about it. And then, you know, you fast forward to the pandemic. If anything underscored why science is so important, it's really the pandemic. You know, from the drugs that are taking care of our loved ones, from the medical practices that are helping heal us. I mean, it's still bad and people are still dying. Obviously, from the vaccines, it's science that makes all that happen. So it's just about getting people happy. All people, but especially the underserved population, making sure they feel part of the conversation.
That is so cool. Absolutely. Seriously. So let me ask you this, right? Because I'm seeing some comments and people are saying they love science and they're saying it's awesome. And I'm seeing some loves and some likes and all that good stuff, right? So talk to me, because, you know, this is a big thing. Like, I know, like, a lot of times we go through school, we learn about science, then we become adults and we don't really think about science as much as we used to. But I also know you've had an interest and focus on our youth, right? And making sure that they also understand, like, why science is really cool, right? Not just something to learn in school, but something cool. So what's the angle or the target for our adult demographic as well as our younger demographic to make sure they know about QED with Dr. B?
Kevin, that's a great question. So first of all, this show, which is a partnership between COSI and WOSU, a PBS affiliate, is an adult program. It's not for kids in kindergarten or grade 3. We're doing science topics and we're speaking to scientists. We're breaking it down so you can understand, but it's for adults. But the real reason why COSI is so excited about supporting this, and WOSU, is while they're not available right now, in about 3 or 4 months to be available, we're creating a suite of educational resources for K through 12 that are connected to QED. So when you watch a 30-minute television show on QED with Dr. B and you learn about nanotechnology or viruses or coronavirus or climate change, then there's on our website and on WOSU's website, there's going to be a bunch of educational stuff for the K through 12 space. For the teachers, there'll be 6-minute cut down videos that you can access and then link to our website for further information. So we're taking adult science content, but making sure it's accessible. The second piece is for the young people that are listening to Columbus Black and big followers of you, Kevin, it's very simple. You can speak to any Black and brown population. You can speak to any young population, regardless, white, Black, brown, or different. Guess what they're doing? They are glued to their technical device. There are gods and goddesses on Sony PlayStation or whatever other, technology in terms of gaming. That's all science. So the idea that kids are disconnected from science is a myth. Which kid doesn't like a video game? Right. Find me a kid that does not like a video game. 100% of that video game capacity is through science and technology. Computer science, mathematics, physics, chemistry, material science, package it together. So our kids, Black or brown, male or female, white or indifferent, they all love science. They just don't know, Kevin, because it's not taught to them in a way that's fun, exciting, and engaging. And so QED with Dr. B will bring it to you where you live, learn, and lounge from the womb to the tomb.
There it is. I love it. I love it. I love it. So listen, y'all, I just started doing these, right? So those that have seen the show before, we drop gems, and he's over here dropping some serious gems. And the piece that I want to go back to is, we always talk about you have to speak to people in a language that they understand. Otherwise, they don't get it. In this, I'm excited about this because I already know how you do it. And the fact that you're going to be able to relate and make it so relevant to people so they understand that everyday things that we do are tied to science and technology, and we just have to simplify it. I love it.
Absolutely, absolutely. Kevin, I will give you, my father taught me about this. It's a Nigerian author named Chinwezu, all right? One word is his name, Chinwezu. And he has one of the best, it's a short poem, it's unbelievable, it's one line. He says, classic, it's called Colonizer's Logic. I wanna say it again, Colonizer's Logic, that's the title. He says, the natives are ignorant, they don't know our language. Ain't that deep? So you're colonizing somewhere and you're landing there and you're saying they're ignorant. Why? Because they don't know your language. QED with Dr. B, it ain't about my language. It's making sure I can communicate and the scientists can communicate and we all can communicate in a language that we all understand. So you nailed it. That's what it's about, meeting people where they are, breaking it down in a way that they get it, and not just get it, but get excited by it.
Yeah.
Which kid, matter of fact, which adult does not love science? Come on now.
Come on.
Come on. It's cool.
That is live. That is live. Well, I'll tell you this. I'm really excited about it because I know that the show, like, you're going to have different guests on. You're going to be talking about these different topics. As you just said, you're going to be breaking it down. I'm looking forward to learning. I'm going to tell you that much. I can't wait for my brain to expand from this particular show. And I'm glad that you're doing it. I'm glad that WOSU is behind this and supporting this effort. I think is a great partnership to really bring it to life.
You got it. And for the record, WOSU from their president CEO, Tom Ryland, on down, they've been a phenomenal set of partners to pull this off. And, you know, I just want to say it's been a really cool opportunity to do this, but it's needed. You know, it's needed at this time. We got to get folks excited about science. Science is real. It impacts you whether you like it or not. So the more you learn about it, the better it is.
And now here's the thing, right? So one of the things that's important is I think COVID has shown us, right? If you even think about jobs and how that's been impacted and people working, a lot of people having to work from home and leverage technology in a different way. And now when you look at the demand for jobs beyond 2020, right? So now to 2021 and going forward, a lot of them are going to be technology-based or virtually based jobs, right? Those opportunities are going to continue to expand for us. So I think absorbing, learning, and adapting and adopting to what you all are going to be sharing is going to be critically important to everybody's lifestyle going forward.
Kevin, your words are so on point. Adapting and adopting. And people, it's really interesting. People worry about, oh, technology's coming, it's taking away jobs. It may take away these jobs over here, but it's opening up these jobs over there. And the most important thing, you nailed it. You don't have to have a PhD. You don't have to have a master's. You don't even have to have a 4-year bachelor's. You can go to a 2-year community college and get a technical degree and start at $60,000 or $70,000 or $80,000 doing some cool stuff. Obviously, you can go on and get a PhD too, but your point is absolutely the right message, Kevin. It is here, it's real, and we have to adapt and adopt to move forward and be part of the conversation and be able to take care of our loved ones, man. It's that simple.
Absolutely. I agree with you 100%. And I have to drop this plug because some people don't know about this, is that there's an organization that's working on actually helping people to get those kind of jobs. It's called Color Coded Labs. They're going to be launching real soon. And it's perfect for that type of scenario, literally tech-based and tech-enabled positions. And that's the way to go. So awesome. So let me ask you this. So tomorrow is when the show begins?
Tomorrow, Wednesday the 27th, tomorrow, 7:30 p.m. on WOSU. Check it out for a half-hour primetime QED with Dr. B. And then because this is the premiere, I will be on with one of the producers from 8. So when the program ends, from 8 to 9 to answer questions in live stream and through chat.
Hold on a second. So 30-minute segment, and you're going to answer questions live for an hour?
You got it. Well,
whatever we want to ask about science and tech.
we're gonna have a little bit of Q&A with the producer. She's gonna ask me some questions, but then she's gonna pull questions off of whatever people write in. They're gonna be pulling those questions and ask me, and there are no wrong questions. There are no bad questions. I will do my best to answer everything that I can. And if I don't know something, the first rule about science, if you don't know something, you say what? I don't know. That's okay.
That is so cool.
But I do want to tell you, just so you know how deep QED with Dr. B goes.
Yeah.
The first episode tomorrow, you're going to learn about superbugs. You're going to learn about antibiotic resistance. You're going to learn about how does antibiotics in the water that might be around your environment. We'll talk. I want to say more. Check out the show. You're also going to learn about antibodies. You keep hearing about antibodies. And at the end of the day, you're going to learn about the immune system. That's tomorrow. Next Wednesday, week 2, guess what it's about, Kevin?
It's got to be about the vaccine. It's about the vaccine.
No, we're deeper than that. Episode 2 is about the science of race.
Oh,
there you go. Oh, Black Lives Matter, Me Too movement, gender. We're talking about the science of race. Is there science behind when we talk about race? Spoiler alert, I ain't giving it up. Check it out. Then
we might have to go live.
Then the third week is what you talked about. Viruses, and we're gonna get deep into the coronavirus and all those details. But yes, race is number 2, my friend.
Man, it's about to go down. I think we might actually do a live during the second episode. That's going to be a really deep one, man. He's over here dropping gems and giving y'all all these sneak peeks already.
When you see who we have on talking about the race episode, when you see those sisters and brothers, PhD scientists, PhD social scientists, breaking down race from a scientific perspective, Kevin, you'll be like, where do I get stock? Where do I get stock in QED with Dr. B? And I'll tell you, at COSI and WOSU, that's where you get your stock.
Okay, y'all, it's about to officially go down. I'm excited about that. Somebody just asked the question. They said, what does QED stand for? So
all right.
I mentioned it earlier, but break that down one more time for us.
You got it. So when mathematicians, physicists, and philosophers everywhere from like the 12th century to like the 19th century, whenever they would write a proof, whenever they're trying to write out a proof or prove something, if they proved it, at the end, they would write these 3 letters, QED, and it was Latin, and it stood for Quod Erat Demonstrandum. And that translates into English roughly quite easily demonstrated. So what it means is when you can prove something, when they prove something in court that so-and-so is innocent, then that means to the judge and to the jury, it's been quite easily demonstrated. So it's a way of saying, oh, my aha moment. I understand that science concept, or I understand what that means.
Nice. So that's almost like we could literally say that we could actually break that joint down, right? So QED with Dr. B on CB for Columbus Black. Because just what you just did, you quite easily demonstrated what that means and how you're about to bring it on the show. So I'm excited. I'm pumped. Somebody just said, I'm there. They heard what you was talking about. They said, I'm there. So here's what I need everybody to do, right? If you're watching this live right now, or we're not live right now, but you're watching it, because that's going to be later on tonight or in the morning, right? I need you to do something. I need you to share. Leverage this technology that he just talked about. Hit that share button, because we don't want anybody to miss this show tomorrow night at 7:30 p.m. and to participate from 8 to 9 as he has a discussion and also answer some questions from the chat, right? So y'all want to be a part of this, and then y'all want to get ready for episode 2 and episode 3, because based on what he just told me, I don't think anybody wants to miss that, right?
You're absolutely right. And just let me say, because I know, Kevin, you won't say it, but those of you listening to Columbus Black, click that like button. Click it now. Bang it, smash it, click it, do what you got to do. And yes, share it with everybody, because Kevin and Columbus Black always bring you great programming. So definitely support the programming, because it's legit.
Well, we appreciate you sharing that. Yep, sometimes we're a little humble, but y'all know how to find us, right? info@columbusblack.com. Check us out. Hit the like button, like he said, on all our pages, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Follow us on LinkedIn. You name it, we can do it. So I'm excited about all this. So here's the deal. As we get ready for wrap up, I want to throw it out there to you, because on all of these shows, every time we have an interview and then somebody says, oh man, I know I wanted to say that and I forgot. How did I forget? So any final parting words, anything that you wanted to make sure that the audience was aware of that we did not discuss tonight in preparation for QED with Dr. B?
Yes, everyone listening needs to understand that science is for everyone. It ain't for rich people. It ain't just for rich people. Right, it ain't for people in the ivory towers of education. It's for everyone. So if you're listening to Columbus Black, if you're paying attention to my man Kevin, definitely check out QED with Dr. B. And if you have a question tomorrow between 8 and 9, if you write in your question, if you say, hey, I heard you on Columbus Black, write that in that question. We'll make sure that that question is read live so we can answer it. But
that's awesome.
All I want to say, Kevin, is science is everywhere. Science is for everyone. COSI is proud to partner with WSU. Frederic Bertley, Dr. B, is proud to be for the first live airing of an interview on Columbus Black. I'm so happy to be with you, my friend.
Absolutely. Well, it's a pleasure to have you as always. I'm very proud of you and what you're doing in the collaboration with COSI and WOSU and this partnership to bring this knowledge, this expertise, and obviously QED with Dr. B to all of us. And the cool part is, y'all, is that this is not just about Columbus, right? So while it's going to be here, people everywhere want to see this. The cool part is you get to say, look at what's happening in my city, right? Yep. And you get to share that because that's what we do right now.
And real quick, Kevin, to that point, you know, yep. it's baked here, it's created here in Columbus, and it's exciting. And of course, we have scientists from Columbus, but we got scientists from New York, we got scientists from California, we got scientists from DC, we got scientists from Atlanta, we got scientists from Canada, we got scientists from Paris, we got scientists from Africa. We are literally global. And to your point, this genesis started here in the great city of Columbus, supported by Columbus Black and all the other cool things here. So definitely check us out. We're local and we're global.
Nice. You just dropped another gem on y'all. Well, with that being said, we're going to go ahead and wrap up, y'all, because we need to make sure y'all get a little bit of rest tonight for tomorrow, right? Because y'all want to participate. Well, listen, Dr. B, I appreciate you coming on the show. Thanks for all that you do. We're going to end this as we always do, right? And the cool part with science is this. It didn't just start. And I always wrap up the show saying, in order to be more successful in your future, you need to understand a little bit more about your past. That's the reason why we just had Dr. B on here and we just had a blast. And with that being said, y'all, guess what? I'm out. Have a good night, Dr. B.
You got it, man. Thanks so much, Kevin. Peace, y'all.
All right, take care. Don't forget, y'all, QED with Dr. B is going down WOSU Thursday night, 7:30 p.m. Y'all check it out. Wednesday, that's right, not Thursday, Wednesday, 7:30 p.m. Check it out, Q&A from 8 to 9. All right, have a good one, y'all. Peace.